Hopefully I'm not too backlit, but and hopefully this reflection isn't messing with you guys. Now you see why I only film in like one little small corner of my apartment, because everywhere else is just madness and there's no good background. But this video is a very special one. A few of you have been requesting this. This is something that I do twice a year, and that is turn over my wardrobe to get ready for the new season. So I will be taking out my spring and summer clothes and moving in my fall and winter clothes. And I have a very specific process that I actually wrote down to make sure that I don't forget anything. So I want to kind of walk through what it is that I do, why it's effective, and how I really keep my closet, I think, pretty pared down for how many clothes that I have. Because if you saw my closet tour a couple, 2 years ago now, I have a lot of clothes and not a very big closet. Full disclaimer, I do take advantage of having a storage unit, and that is a key piece of being able to sort of have a well-organized, healthy sized closet. But yes, let's jump in to talk about what my process is. So before I even look into any of the winter boxes that have been in storage and think about moving them into my closet, I go through my closet and really assess the current season's clothing. So I do this in kind of a particular way. First of all, I make sure that I have my phone handy. So I want to be taking notes throughout this whole process so that I have somewhere that I can go back to and easily access it. That's why I prefer my phone, just because honestly, if I write it on a notepad, I'm not gonna keep that piece of paper, I'm gonna throw it away and I can't go back and look at it year after year. So what am I writing down exactly? I am writing down, I'm going through each individual piece, literally every single thing in the closet, and I'm thinking, did I wear this a lot? Did I not wear this a lot? If I didn't wear it a lot, why exactly? And also if something's dirty, that's another big thing, is I take it out, clean it, steam it. There's nothing worse than having, a stain on something and you're really excited to wear it, you're in a rush, you go into your closet and you don't realize that it's stained. So definitely try to go through, make sure that everything's clean, steamed, and good to go if it is something that I wear regularly. But in terms of things that I don't wear regularly and kind of how I start to edit things out, I think the most important thing is understanding that nothing is permanent. So if I take things out of my closet, and I usually just sort of throw them out on the bed into your typical piles. So I have, sell on the RealReal. I prefer to sell pretty much only on the RealReal. I used to sell on Poshmark, but honestly, I don't really have the time to haggle back and forth with people. And so I prefer the RealReal. Although you don't get much money for your stuff, it's just way easier to drop things off and then they just sell them and kind of do all the hard work for you. So yeah, so I make 3 piles. I make a sell pile, which for any of my designer items. So for example, these 2 things that are out right now, this is a blouse from the Row and then a Prada dress. These are 2 things that I've had in my wardrobe for a while and I just never wear them. And so I'm thinking about selling these. So I'm keeping these sort of separate from everything else. And then anything else I have that I want to kind of get rid of that's designer, I will also toss into that pile. For the sort of non-designer pieces, so like H&M, Zara, Mango, things that are in good shape, but also things that are in not good shape, I'm going to try to do something new this year. So I'm going to use a clothing recycling service. I haven't figured out exactly which one I want to use yet. I think I'm going to use 4 days, because they basically send you a giant bag and you can put everything into it. So things that you would donate, so things that are in great condition that they can sell, and then things that are not in great condition. Like we all have those t-shirts and things that honestly I would feel really embarrassed to give away. And so the cool thing is you can put all of that in the bag. They will sort through it all for you. You do have to pay for the bag. But honestly, the fact that they have someone going through and saying like good condition, sell, bad condition, recycle, and like I just know it's going to a good place, I feel really good about that, as opposed to just dropping things off at Goodwill. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's what I usually do. So yeah, so now I'm kind of combining my whole like throw away, donate pile in hopes that my clothing will be recycled in a little more of a responsible way. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. I need to order the actual bags. Right now I'm just putting things into trash bags, which I understand is very not eco-friendly, but I'm just doing it for means of separation. I will use the trash bags, don't worry. But for now, I just want to kind of keep everything apart. And what I meant in the beginning by it's not permanent, when I take something out of the closet, I'm not like, oh, if I take it out, I have to get rid of it. I know that if I take it out, it just means that I want to remove it from all the other clothes that I know without a doubt that I love and that I wear all the time, and I want to think about it. Maybe I want to think about it for a year. And I think that's the big difference, is that some things it's pretty clear I have a good idea that I want to move along. I never wear it. It might be old. It might be ill-fitting on me, and it might be good for someone else. But then there's a lot of things that sometimes I'm just like, this maybe isn't my style anymore, but I might want to wear this eventually. And what I will do is I will put it away into a little bin, and I will label it in storage that literally says, thinking about this, or like maybe clothing, like revisit next year. So then when I pull it out of storage the next year, I can really go back to it and say, okay, is it still not my style? Is it still something I'm not interested in? So for example, I did this with this denim COS dress, and it was a really cool dress, and I had it in the sort of maybe area in my storage for a year. Brought it back out this past year, wore it a couple times this summer, and I just came to the conclusion again that doesn't fit me well. It comes up way too high on my armpits. It doesn't hang right. It's uncomfortable. And so this is the year that I'm like, it's gone. It's going away. But I gave myself that time so that I wouldn't regret it if I did say give it away and then thought later like, oh, actually that's my style now. It's cute. I wish I had it again. So there's that. I also recognize in my wardrobe that I have some really special pieces that I want to keep almost as like a collector's item. So for example, I have this really incredible leather jacket that has all these like studs and charms and things all over it. It's really not my style anymore, but it's just such a gorgeous piece of clothing that I know when I have a big closet one day, like a really big closet in the house, that I'm gonna wish it was there, and I'm gonna wish it was something that I could, try on and go back to. So maybe even give my kids one day. So I also want to hang on to things like that, and those things I will just leave in storage, and I literally labeled them leave in storage, like special pieces, leave it in storage. When I have more space, hopefully this won't be my life forever. And I admit, this is actually a really big closet for New York, but still, for how much I love clothes, it doesn't quite cut it. So that was a very long, sort of rambling way to talk about just like letting go of that fear of like, you have to get rid of something. Like, let's not have a scarcity mindset when going through the closet. It feels really, really good to purge and to just be like, you know what? Let's move forward. These things are not doing it for me anymore. And I promise you, it's going to feel a lot better to give things away than to be like scared and hang on to things and think like, oh, memories and whatever. For me personally, I just really think it's cathartic to just move things along and have them go to a better home where someone else can love it. So what I've done, as I kind of alluded to before, I start moving things out. I've already put things into trash bags that I think I want to get rid of. I've already pulled things out that I know I want to put into storage. So I've done a pretty good job in my mind of like editing. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. All right, so I know this looks a bit crazy, but I promise, I really should have done like a before. I really edited out, I promise you. There's actually like multiple trash bags under there of items. And so like, see, for example, I 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have like 5 pairs of shorts now. That's all I have. And then obviously I have a trouser problem, but you know what, it is what it is. And so, yeah, I've gone through all of my summer and my spring items and figured out what it is that I wear, what it is that I don't wear, and why. So actually, let me run through a few examples. And I think it's really important, honestly. Okay, I think that's better. I think this is why I've tried to film this video so many times. It's honestly just so chaotic because I feel like the process of cleansing is so chaotic that I never end up posting it. So I'm really gonna try to post this one. But yes, so I wanna walk through a few examples of things that I've really enjoyed wearing, and I'm going to make a note of that. So that's the other kind of like hot tip, is that don't just write down things that haven't worked for you and why, but also write down the things that have worked for you that you've really loved. Because the thing is if you write all this stuff down, you can kind of start to see patterns, and you can kind of start to have honest conversations with yourself about whether that's the stage of life that you're in right now. So for example, for me, when I'm looking at everything that I've been loving, comfort is king. Like, being comfortable is so important, and that manifested in its, let me get my list. So for example, in my keep things I'm loving sort of section, I wrote comfortable tailored pieces. So for example, I have worn this oversized Zara linen vest as a shirt with my Dish linen pants so many times this summer. I've also paired this with jeans so many times this summer. Having these like tailored pieces, but that are in natural fibers like linen that breathe really well, that's been really huge for me. In fact, natural fibers is another theme across my list that came up in both the love section and the hate section. So for example, like shirts, again, that I've worn constantly this summer, my linen shirts from COS. And the reason, shocker, that I've worn them so much is that they're a really beautiful natural fiber, and although they're long sleeved, they just breathe so well and they're really comfortable. I can wear them to work where it might get a little chilly and I like having a long sleeve, or I can just wear them out and about. So I find they have a lot of versatility. They're very high quality, and yeah, just having a linen shirt that breathes well is everything. So now I want to talk a little bit about some things that I didn't like. So let me open one of the bags. Okay. So here's an example of one of the bags. Let me just get into it and see. Ah, yes. So this is a piece of knitwear that I knew. A lot of these things I like know when I buy them that they're a bad idea, and I'm just trying to be way better about just returning them and not like trying to make them work, which is silly. So this is like a little vest top from Mango. It honestly looks beautiful. Love it. Itchiest material. It is so itchy and uncomfortable. I've worn this like one time and I did not enjoy it. So bad. Even though this is a natural fiber, this is wool, so itchy, so uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm not gonna pull it out because it's stuffed in the bag, but again, that COS dress, it cut really high on my armpits and was just very uncomfortable, so that one also went. Really tight bodysuits, like from Zara, that are like polyester and just were very tight. Any of the tight things like that, I got rid of. I much prefer, if I'm gonna wear something tight now, wearing like a Skims bodysuit. Again, cotton, much better material, a little more forgiving, just not the like synthetic stuff. However, these are not like hard and fast rules. So here's an example of what I believe is a synthetic fabric. Let me look. Of course, I've cut the tag out of it. Okay, of course, I've cut the tags out of everything, but I will look it up online. I'm pretty sure this is not a natural fiber. But the thing that I love about this and every iteration that I have of this sort of plain knitted Zara tee that I'm obsessed with, like literally I've worn this more than anything in this whole closet, I'm so obsessed with it, is the thick fabric. It makes it look really chic, really expensive. I love the longer sleeve and where it hits me on the arm. I love that it's a crew neck. And I also love how it sort of comes in here at the waist. Very easy to tuck into things, very easy to not tuck into things, and it still looks chic because it sort of comes in at the bottom. So like, even though, again, this is like a synthetic fabric, love this top and anything else that's like this top. So I think you got an idea of sort of how I go through and how I start to edit things. And again, I think the most important thing is just getting it out of your closet. Be so brutal. Try things on. Just like be super honest with yourself, and also know if you take something out, that's okay. You can bring it back in. It's not permanent. It's not the end of the world. But it's such a life, like, game-changing thing when you look in your closet and you can properly see your clothes and they're not really like jammed in together as much. You want to get to that place so that you can just know that you've like level set and that you're ready to put the things into storage that you actually care about and that you're not wasting space. I got a little hot, so I had to take my sweater off, but I want to go through one more time about things that really kind of like got me and were thematic across all the things that I wanted to give away. So synthetic fabrics, uncomfortable fit. So like too high of a neck, too tight on the armpits, too tight in general. Another one was like too oversized. So some things that don't fit me very well anymore, or they're just like way too oversized to the point where I just think they look a little silly and they cannot be tailored. I think that's the other key too. Unflattering, just things I don't think are particularly flattering on me. Wasn't honest with myself when I first bought them. And anything that's like too sheer. So what I mean by that is I don't mean like a mesh top. I mean like I've had some summer dresses, some like linen, like shirt dresses sometimes that I always have to wear a slip underneath of them, and they're not cute enough to warrant that, if that makes any sense. They're just kind of like big baggy dresses, and I'm like, why would I need to wear a slip under this? I like wearing a slip under like nicer looking dresses, but it's like too much effort, you know, for like not enough return. So yes. The things, again, that I loved were those Zara 3/4 length sleeve tops. Absolutely love. My COS oversized t-shirts. I actually ended up wearing those a lot more than even my more fitted t-shirts. My Uniqlo t-shirts, really love them too. Both COS and Uniqlo are just like hitting out of the park in that regard. My drawstring pants. I've talked about this in one of my last videos. I love a drawstring pant. So yeah, 10 out of 10 on those. Again, anything that's like linen, breathable, cotton. And yeah, those are kind of the main themes in terms of reasons why I wanted to keep or why I wanted to get rid of something. So now that I've gotten to the point where I've pulled out everything that I want to sell or kind of get rid of, I'm going to go through each and every piece again and figure out what pieces are strictly seasonal. So what I mean by strictly seasonal are pieces that are just like 100% summer and spring pieces to me. So some things you might look at and say, oh, but you can wear like a tan blazer year round, for example. Like, here's a good one. This H&M blazer. You could totally wear this year round. Like, just because it's linen doesn't mean that you have to only wear it in, you know, the spring and summer months. But for me personally, I love seasonality and I want to get really excited about my clothes each season. And part of the way that I do that is by putting them away and then bringing them back out. So I make that call that I'm only going to wear this in the spring and the summer, and I remove it and I put it into storage. So very clearly, like, most of my linen pieces, if not all, will be going. Some of these suits, for example, this is a perfect example of like a year-round item. This is a navy wool blazer from COS. Equally as appropriate in the summertime because it is lightweight, but it's also wool. And it's very nautical looking, so I still loved it in the like a little cooler summer months, but it's gonna look so good into fall and into winter. So this is one of those things that I will just keep out all the time. So I'll go through piece by piece and kind of assess what's like strictly seasonal versus like a year round, and then I'll remove it. Once I figured that out, which I will insert a little clip of what my closet looks like, this is the emptiest you will ever see it, I will start taking things, I'll throw all the summer stuff honestly on the bed somewhere, and then I will start taking things out of the winter boxes because I use all of the same boxes for both winter and summer, so have to get them out so that I can put the summer clothes in. So I'll kind of start doing the same editing process, honestly, just as a sanity check through the winter clothes, even though I already did that last season, to just be like, do I still love this? Or does this kind of need a new life, need a new family, need something else? And so, yeah, I'll follow that exact same editing process on my winter stuff. Steam anything, wash anything that needs that, anything that needs airing out because it's been in a box for so long, and then I'll put it in my closet. So I will check back in with you guys after I do that. So here's a good example. I already started going through some of the boxes and I saw, well, first of all, this blazer is like a bit blingy now for my taste. So I'm gonna put in that, but it's like a really special piece too because it has this sort of checkered bit. This is gonna go in the I wanna think about it pile because it is really special and I don't wanna give it away just because I might not be in the mood to really wear it because of my style right now. This little guy, talked about this in another video. This is the kind of like OG old money jacket with the little gold buttons, and this look is so oversaturated right now, and to be perfectly honest, I didn't even like this on me when I bought it. So this is one that I'm not going to be putting in my closet. I will be putting in the donate pile. So that just shows you sort of, again, how I'm making these critical choices. I also get so happy when I get things out of storage that I love. Like, I love these shoes so, so much. These are like the ultimate Christmas shoes. They're actually not that hard to walk in either. They're so cute. I love them. Another hot tip is to make sure you label everything as clearly as possible. So obviously I shove a lot of things into each bin, but I definitely try to call out exactly what's in there. So for example, vacation sets. These are all the clothes that I have that are vacation specific, like all my little beach outfits that I've done videos on before. My light wash Alexander Wang jeans, I know exactly what those look like, as well as my more summery pieces of the Skims boyfriend collection. That way, the company that I use to store my stuff, they take photos of the tops of all of these so I can just see exactly what's in the bin. Otherwise, I have no idea, and I'm paying to get something delivered that I might not even want. Hello, everyone. I have you stabilized on some doggy stairs. I just wanted to check in quickly. It's been about 3 days now since the last time we talked, and I have removed, well, there's been quite a few things, so let me flip you around and actually show you the progress that's been made. So everything has been successfully put into boxes. I wish I could say I only have 3 boxes, but all the other boxes are taking up my whole apartment. So I will be returning summer clothes and everything to storage, hopefully very, very soon next week. I actually had a little bit of trouble getting an appointment. And then these 3 very mini trash bags, just to give you some, these are like the baby trash bags. These are not full trash bags. Don't worry, these are not going in the trash. These are items that are being donated. Most of them probably will be donated. There might be a few little recyclables, like some old activewear. And especially this one, I'm cleaning out my activewear for the first time in like, I don't even know, 2-3 years. So I definitely had quite a few pieces there. Then I have those pants from Dish are going to the Real, as well as these hanging items here. I have this Acne dress as well as this Prada dress. And then I also have a little thing of sweatpants. That's not going anywhere. That's an H&M t-shirt. That's just trying to dry. But yes, this is kind of the final product, which I think looks really fantastic in my opinion. So I even cleaned out my jewelry. Look how nice that looks. I have all my favorite little COS earrings that I wear regularly, just all my earrings, all my agahiri necklaces, like everything. The things that I wear on like a daily basis, I did Rumble this morning, so I put them there. I put in this sweet little John Darien thing for easy access, as well as like my wallet, my passport and stuff. And I put my designer handbags here because I love looking at them and they make me happy every time I come in here. This little drawer here is like the perfect sunglass drawer. It used to be 100% sunglasses, but I actually cleaned out some of the more summery sunglasses that I don't wear regularly, and I put in belts into this section, and that's actually empty, that little jewelry carrier. That's for when I travel. So yeah, moved out the belts, moved in all of my winter shoes, all of my beautiful boots. I don't really have a lot of great storage places for really large boots like this. And so I actually have my Jimmy Choo boots. You cannot see it because it's so dark in there, but I have Jimmy Choo boots and I have the Row boots sort of tucked in the back there, as well as some of my go-to Converse just kind of put there. These little cases are for more formal shoes. So honestly, this is where most of my Jimmy Choo collection is. And these just keep them very dust free, which is fantastic. And I don't mind them being down there because I don't really access those regularly. These are all of my little Mary Janes and Gucci loafers and stuff. I can't wait to be able to wear those. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I actually think now that I've done a little clear out, I might have less clothing in the fall and winter section than I did in the other section. These are, I know you're not supposed to hang sweaters, but I honestly don't have much more room for them. These are all of my winter tops. These are my long dresses. I just have a little section for them. Honestly, it's mostly just sweater dresses because you guys know I love wearing those. And then I have other dresses, skirts, and like winter shorts. So for example, quilted babies like this, or little embellished things like this that I'm gonna wear with tights. All of my trousers, I love trousers. Winter sets and suits are over here. Knitwear, that it's fine to hang, kind of. I mean, it's never fine to hang, but whatever. I have more hanging space than not. Button-up shirts, blazers, little wool coat jacket thingies like that. And then I actually consolidated, I won't show you that because it's like literally underwear and socks and stuff. I consolidated this a lot because my poor boyfriend only had one drawer. So now I'm giving him half of that drawer. But yeah, I put like fancier bras, my bar class socks, tights and stuff. And then back here, I just have like more socks and like shapewear and stuff that I don't need easy access to. But this is all my cashmere. That's all folded so beautifully. And then this is also my cashmere in this half, my half, boyfriend's half, my half, chaos of boyfriend's half. Is anyone else's partners like that? Yeah. So to be honest, like this whole area above here used to just be stacked with his stuff, and now it's just a little bit stacked with his stuff. So much better. But yeah, I do think, oh, I also put, so I have 2 things of dust bags now because I just have a lot of dust bags. And then I put my little everyday bags up here. So that's my flattered clutch and then my flattered little mini bag. And then that's actually my brown Gucci bag just because I don't wear it as much. But sometimes my strategy for, if I know that I wear something really regularly, I actually don't mind putting it in kind of a hard to reach place. For example, my, what do I call them, base layers. I've kind of tucked them away into a hard to reach area of the closet because I know when I need that, I know where to go look for it. So I will go get it. Also, like sweatshirts are kind of tucked to the back. I use those regularly, so I grab that out. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, but because I know the everyday bag is up there, I'm gonna reach for it versus like some things I really need to have it visually out. Otherwise it's just like in my head, I don't think it exists anymore. So yeah, this is where we're at. And I'm gonna pack up stuff for the real, and I'm still waiting on my 4 days bags. So I'm gonna update you guys when I have those, and then I'm gonna ship those out, and then I'm gonna be in a really good spot. Then the closet's like basically done, and I just have a couple things to get altered, and then I'll be good to go. Okay, hopefully you're not too crooked, but yeah, this is the bag. This is the size. They're massive. I actually don't even want to know how much that cost them to ship because it feels like it weighs at least 20 pounds. So yeah, I will say I would have preferred if the bag was in black because the pink is quite a lot. But yes, these are the bags. And you just have to make sure that everything is clean, pre-washed, that you put in here. And it can be any textile, like literally towels, workout clothes, anything like that. And they basically will sort through it, figure out if they can donate something to thrift stores or if it's kind of too far gone and it needs to be recycled. So I feel better about this than some of my other options, just because you never really know sometimes when you get things away, they just end up throwing them away or whatever. So trying this out, seeing how this goes. It also saves me from taking an Uber, dropping stuff off. So we shall see. The process is there's a little QR code on the bag that I'm supposed to scan, and then it tells you what to do on the bag, so don't worry. So let me read it. It says, fill unwanted goods, great. Scan the QR code, which is right here, and then I print the label and attach it to the bag and return it to a USPS location. So luckily, USPS picks up from my building, so I am lucky in that regard. But just be aware, if you do, you might need to take this to the Postal Service. So be aware of that. And you will need a printer, it looks like. So be aware of that too, because I know not everyone has one. I have one because I clearly have so many things that I buy and return that it's kind of just a necessity for me. But yeah, just wanted to call those 2 things out. And how this works is you do pay for the bags. They are $20, which might look a little crazy, but there's kind of a little deal that goes along with it. So I guess once you send these in, they give you a $20 credit on your 4 days account. And I was like, I don't know, I don't really want to like buy anything on there. I don't know the site, but actually they have a ton of stuff. They have bath bombs, lotions, lip balm. So even if you don't want to buy their clothes or anything, even though the clothes are actually pretty cute. So I'm gonna take a little look-sees around, but basically it's like you get money back kind of. So it's not like you're just like spending $60, even though to be honest, I would be spending at least $20 to take an Uber to drop the stuff off anyway. So for me, I was like, so it's worth the $40 to experiment, try this out, see how this goes, and then enjoy maybe some of the cool little things that I can buy on the website. So yeah, I'll let you know, and I'm gonna get packing.